because this is FYI kind of webinar, so that we can support our chapter in whatever they need in terms of credentialing. I come from a background of coaching that I've been a coach since 2005, and graduated from the College of Executive Coaching. And my journey didn't stop since then. So I've been a coach for more than 15 years. And actually, I co-own 2 coaching schools, also one in the Middle East and one in the States. The one in the Middle East is a level 1 certification for self-development coaching. The one in the States, called Vital Science, Vital Skills, is a coaching school that is directed only for coaching physicians and the healthcare. So we graduate basically coaches that want to work with the healthcare industry. So it's a very specific niche that we work with. I'm here today as part of the board, and as part of me doing this for a very long time, I have actually founded the chapter, ICF chapter of Lebanon, and presided over it for 4 years. So upon Robin's request, I joined the Houston chapter, and so we can also help in growing the chapter and serving the coaches there. Please stop me at any time. I will share my screen with what I'm going to be talking about today. So we're going to navigate the ICF credentialing procedure over a series of 3 sessions. The first session is today, and then we have a session in November and a session in December. Today, we're going to be talking about the very brief overview of the ICF, value of understanding the ICF credentials, explanation of different ICF credentials, the ACC, PCC, and the MCC, and what's a typical timeline for credentialing and application and examination fees. For the session 2, that is going to be in November, we are going to talk about what are some mentor coaching requirements, what are some educational requirements to become a mentor, and some coaching experience criteria. And the third session in December, we are going to be talking about the CKA, the Coaching Knowledge Assessment, what's the examination procedure, overview of the CKA and some examples, and reviewing some of the ICF Code of Ethics and core competencies. So starting with the value of the ICF credential, it's what we have seen in the ICF credential coaches demonstrate. We have seen that they demonstrate more knowledge and more skill and more commitment to high ethical and professional standards. If we want to look at large at the ICF, we see that ICF, or the International Coach Federation, is the largest global member network of professional coaches. It has around 40,000 members to date in over 140 plus countries. We have around 3,500 ICF credential holders, and we have more than 140 chapters in 80 plus countries. Now, all members must actually possess some level of coach-specific training, and ICF members and credential holders must always adhere to the ICF Code of Ethics. Now, what's the value of basically holding a credential? Now, the ICF credential is the only globally recognized professional coaching certification. And the holders are part of a self-regulating group of elite coaches who provide accountability to clients and the coaching profession as a whole. And they pursue and they complete rigorous education and practice requirements that provide unquestioned questioned legitimacy to their commitment to excellence in coaching. And what we have seen is in studies that among those who have been in a coaching relationship, around 83% said certification credential is important. And for those who were aware of coaching, but they have not been yet in a coaching relationship, 76% considered certification and credential are important. So it is rather important for the industry, the corporate and the private industry, to then have this certification or this credential. So let's dive deeper to understand the credentialing. So ICF holds 3 credentials corresponding with a quantity of education and with the experience required to earn it. The first one is the Associate Certified Coach, which has 60 hours of coach-specific education and 100 hours of client coaching experience. The Professional Certified Coach, or the PCC, holds 125 hours of coach-specific training and 500 hours of client coach experience. As for the Masterful Certified Coach, MCC, it holds, you either hold or have held a PCC credential and completed 200 hours of coach-specific education and 2,500 of client coach experience. So how do we actually earn these credentials? We have the education, we have the experience, we have the mentor coaching, we have the performance assessment, and the ICF credentialing exam. With the education, as I said before, the ACC is 60 hours, the PCC is 125 hours, and the MCC is 200 hours. ICF accredited or non-ICF accredited programs. The experience is for the ACC is 100 hours. 75 of those 100 hours of us coaching should be paid, and 25 could be pro bono. For the PCC, we have 500 hours. 450 of those should be paid, and the 50 hours pro bono. And for the MCC, 2,500 hours, of which 2,250 hours paid, and the rest are pro bono. As for the mentor coaching is 10 hours that are done over a 3-month period of time or longer than that. The performance assessment is for the ACC is 1 session, is usually listened to by the assessors. For the PCC and the MCC is 2 sessions, and that would be a recording of a client session with a written transcript. And of course, there is the ICF credentialing exam. So if we want to go on an ACC credentialing path, there are now, because of the change that has happened with ICF, we have 3 ways to do so. Am I going too fast, or everyone is okay?
Doing well.
Okay. So the first path is the level 1. So now they have, since 2021, we have the level 1 or level 2 ACTP path. So where you would have completed 60 hours of coach training education and 100 hours of client coaching experience. So either via the level 1 or the level 2 or an ACTP path, you can actually apply. Now, you can also apply via an ACTSH path, and which is also, again, we have to always talk about the mentoring. We have to talk about the 60 hours of coach-specific education and the 100 hours of client coaching experience, and of course the CKA, and definitely the recording for the ACC. And there is the portfolio path. The same goes for the PCC. Okay, so at the PCC level, there are also 3 application paths. But here we have the level 2 with an what we call an ACTP, sorry, there's a P missing here, path, where the level 2 programs replaced the ACTP, and these programs are included in the education hours, the mentor coaching, and the performance evaluation to PCC level. What this means is now the program is responsible for graduating their own students. We don't have to go anymore to the assessors, or we don't have to submit our recordings to the assessors or to ICF to actually do the to get to that level. Now we have another path, which is a PCC level with an ACTSH path, and for those using level 1 and accredited coach specific training, ACTSH path, and or taking a portion of an ACT program to cover the coach education required hours, the mentor coaching and the performance evaluation recorded need to be included in the application here. It is not anymore where the program is responsible. So there is an extra mentor coaching, and there is an extra also mentoring, and the recording will be there. As for the PCC portfolio path, for those using any kind of CCEU programs or non-ICF accredited programs, they have to submit with a robust documentation to ensure that they meet ICF education requirement. And the other aspects, the mentor coaching and the performance evaluation, the recording coaching call, they need to be included also in the application. So what I have to say here is that ACTP and ACTSH programs will be retired as ICF accreditation programs types at the end of 2023. However, the graduates from these programs may still use education at any time towards a credential. Are we okay so far?
Yeah, and Senior, we have a few questions in the chat.
Okay, let's address those then.
Yeah, so Lillian is asking, do the 60 hours of coaching education need to be completed within a specific period of time?
Not necessarily, actually. No, they shouldn't. I would say it's better not to exceed a year in doing those, but it's especially if they are going the portfolio path. But it's better to be within a year. I don't think ICF requires or mandates anything that is conclusive about that.
Okay. And then we also wanted to share that we dropped into the chat the specific requirements for ACC, PCC, and MCC, just so everyone has it.
Okay.
There's another question here that says, I would like to know if I already have done professional development requirements for mentorship coaching. Okay, would you like to read or say?
Yeah, I was going to say, let me ask the question. I've already done the 60 hours of education, which included mentor coaching and some additional coaching that I had to do.
Is it 60 hours?
It's 60 hours, correct. So I've already done all. Sorry?
Sorry, 60 hours that include 10 hours of mentoring?
Yes.
Okay.
So, no, I think it is additional to 60 hours of the coaching education, 10 hours of mentoring with that. So I've already done all of that, but I don't have the 100 hours. Like how long do we wait until we take the exam?
It's preferable that you finish your 100 hours first and then take the exam, because when you submit the application, it's easier for you and it's quicker. And ICF will not unlock the exam, the CKA, unless you submit it this way.
And how long do I have to complete the 100 hours?
There's no limit.
No limit, okay.
Yeah, some people actually don't actually go for the credentials. Okay. They just stick with the mentoring and they actually don't take the ACC.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. What other questions do we have?
That's it for the chat.
Okay. So let's continue with the MCC then. So at the MCC level, there are two application paths. We have the level 3, which is the one that is newly available. And these level 3 programs are available to those of us who hold a PCC and include 75 hours of advanced coaching education hours and mentor coaching to the MCC level. The performance evaluation, which are the recorded codes, will need to be included in the application also. And there is the portfolio path. The portfolio path is for those of us who have not completed a level 3 program. They will use the portfolio path application to include in it all the education programs. They have to reach up to 200 hours required. For any non-ICF accredited programs, also robust documentation to ensure they meet ICF education requirement is needed always. And the other aspects are here mentor coaching. So they have 10 hours of mentor coaching, and they have the performance evaluation with that is two recordings that need to be included in the application. And of course, the 2,500 hours, of which 2,250 of them should be paid. Now, if we take a look at the application fees and review time, we can see that at the ACC level, the three paths, we have an investment of $175 for members and $325 USD dollars for non-members. And usually they look at it within 4 weeks. The ASTH program, ACC level, it's $375 for members and $525 for non-members, and it takes around 14 weeks until they review it and get back to you. The ACC portfolio, the investment is $475 USD for members and $625 for non-members, and it also takes around 14 weeks. As for the PCC level, if you are a level 2 and or ACTP, the investment is $375 USD for members and 525 for non-members, and it takes 4 weeks for looking at it. If you are at a PCC level 1 and or ACTSH, it takes 14 weeks with $650 US dollars for members and $800 for non-members. And for the portfolio PCC, it's 175 USD dollars for members and $900 for non-members, and it takes 18 weeks. Now the MCC, the level 3 and the MCC portfolio, they both have an investment of 675 US dollars for members and $825 for non-members, and it takes basically 18 weeks to cover that. For the application process, you can go to the ICF website, and from the menu at the top of the ICF homepage, you click on credentials and standards, and you select apply now, depending on what you want to apply on for. And now I will open room for questions on what do you have as questions for today. Yes, Clinton.
Hey, Zeina. Well, thank you for providing your wealth of information here today. A question I've got for you is, if I'm just entering in, I am on the very front end of my coaching journey, and even prior to the ACC, and working towards getting those coaching client hours. If you don't have the certification, how do you recommend getting the hours?
Okay, so whenever you are in a program, the minute you register for a program, you are, depending on the program you are registering with, you can start having clients, and you can start acting on those. You can actually use those clients. Okay. But these are usually the clients that we that you use as pro bono. Yeah. Not the paying clients.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. It could be both. Okay. So you can't call yourself ACC certified at that point, but you can call yourself, you know, ICF Credential in progress or something.
You're a coach. You're a coach, but without a credential.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, we do prefer always that you finish your 60 hours before you actively call yourself a coach. It's usually in the code of ethics, it's preferable, but at least so you can go through all the competencies and you're capable of handling your client.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
I'll dive in. This is Mike Haney. Appreciate the presentation. I'm on a similar journey, I guess, as Clinton mentioned. I'm about 80% of the way through a class that will get me my 60 hours, including the mentor hours. And so anyway, I've also been able to have a few paying clients already. I have the certification from the coaching course that I am going with, or what have you. Again, that's not as strong, of course, as an ICF certification, but it says I can say I'm a, I can't remember what it was, the certified coach or something. So that's yeah. And then also as I understand the process, I'm doing a lot of what we call barter coaching, which is basically coaching with other folks who are in the program and others, and that is, as I understand it, counting towards our 100 hours, which has been helpful.
It's called actually peer-to-peer.
Peer-to-peer. Thank you.
Yeah. So the peer-to-peer is actually considered as paying clients. So you can consider those as paying clients.
Yes, and I'm also with Clinton on how to build a business, how to make it come together as a whole nother scenario. What kind of support is there from the ICF of helping folks start a practice, get the initial marketing going, that kind of stuff? Or is that something that's not really the ICF's bailiwick?
It's actually the coaching school that, in our coaching schools, and I'm talking out of personal experience, it is not up to ICF to help you with that and building your business. Sometimes the chapter actually does have seminars and webinars on that subject, so you can follow in with the chapter and see how to build a business. Actually, there are many people that also have a lot of podcasts on that, and you can follow that.
Right.
However, usually the school usually gives such a program, the school that you are in, if it's because it's as a level 1 certified school, we are mandated to do so. It's part of our curriculum to help our students actually get their niche and help them build their business. So this is how, yeah. But otherwise, ICF is not responsible for that.
That's great. One last question regarding the ICF Houston chapter. This is my first meeting of this group, and I'm just kind of wondering what other kind of resources do they have as far as, I don't know, webinars or meetups or something, you know, that help sort of generate connections between the coaches and knowledge sharing in that regard.
Okay, I will let Zach answer that. We do have a lot of activities going on, a lot of virtual meetings, a lot of in-person meetings that are going on every month. We have several. So I'll let Zach answer that.
Yeah, Mike, and welcome to your first meeting. Thanks for joining us. So I am the communications director of ICF Houston. And as a part of your ICF Houston membership, you have access to our Houston ongoing coach development series. So that includes credentialing, business support, and you also have access to our network in Austin, in Dallas, North Texas, and San Antonio. Throughout our Texas affiliate chapters, there's actually small groups are starting now, specifically out of Austin, focused on business development. So we can share additional information here. I'll drop the link in for you just to take a look at it.
Thank you so much, Zach. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay, so I have actually, Marge, you had your hand up.
I also raised my hand. I just lowered it.
Okay, so you're fine. Okay, so Prince.
No, I will still like to ask a question. So.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, just I'm probably one of the few in this audience that is interested in an MCC, but I just want to clarify. Did I hear you saying that the ICF will be retiring in 2023 the ACTP kind of path, and now yes, all the credentialing will be through ICF? Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Level 3. Yeah, but if you still are in a program and you have accumulated your educational hours, there are 200 hours, it will still be counted.
Okay, because my in 2024, I'm considering becoming an MCC, and I would like to know if I could still use the ACTP, the education, yes, and build on those the 200 hours.
Yes, absolutely. They did not put a limit, but the schools that are offering ACTP and ACTSH are going to stop.
Okay.
But for people that have already done their lots of work on that, they're not going to stop those. Absolutely not.
Thank you. That's it.
Prince?
Hi, this is my first meeting joining the ICF Houston chapter. As fresh as joining pretty much like yesterday or a couple of days ago. So thank you for the opportunity. Just a couple of clarifications. One is, I think ICF uses compensated coaching, right? And pro bono coaching. So does compensated means only money, or is that, as the word describes, it could be compensation by way of bartering, by way of what you call peer-to-peer, any other ways of compensation that are described?
Okay, so the only way that so if you're applying for an ACC, let's say, you have 75 hours that should be from paying clients. If they are not from paying clients, what you are called as barter is what we call peer-to-peer. The only paying engagement is the peer-to-peer. So if I am coaching another coach, and we're doing peer-to-peer for each other, every hour is considered an hour that is a payable hour also. And also there is the group coaching. If you are licensed in group coaching, sometimes if you are doing group coaching, that is also considered. But you have to be licensed also in group coaching.
All right. Thank you. That's very helpful. There's one other point that I had. So for those who started that coaching training in 2022, and since the changes only kicked in from 2023, start of this year, there's some sort of a grandfathering over or something carry over for those. Could you just explain that? I'm looking at an ACC credentialing starting at the end of this year or early next.
So what kind of program have you graduated from? ACTP program?
I've done about 130 hours with PCCI for they're one of the accredited schools, and all the education that I've accumulated, the hours, is ICF certified. Yeah.
So it should be an ACTP program. If it's 130 hours.
Correct. Yes,
okay.
You're right.
So as I was telling Marge, everything that you have done is going to stay. It's not going to go away. But the actual schools, like the owners of the schools, cannot own any more ACTP programs or ACTSH programs. They have to change them. They gave us a deadline till 2023, end of 2023, to become level 1, level 2, or level 3.
Correct.
But for the students, the education, you can just pursue it as an ACTP path. It's the same as I have explained. If you're going to go through your PCC, you take the ACTP path with 10 mentoring hours and 500 coaching hours. 450 of them should be paid and 50 pro bono, and the 2 performance evaluation, and that's how they grandfathered it.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's very helpful.
You're most welcome. Elena?
Hi, Zeina. Thank you for all this information. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're most welcome.
Thank you. I'm looking at my dashboard, and I want to know what's the difference between, it says pending submission and pending completion. So pending completion, I understand it's the performance evaluation, so the reporting and the actual exam. But pending submission is for my ACSTH education and the mentor coaching. It says pending submission. What's the difference?
I actually don't know how to answer that question.
Okay.
So I think they have changed so many things over the last few years. So what I would do if I was you, I would actually send them an email to the credentials and standards and ask them, have you already submitted your ACTSH? Have you submitted?
Yes.
So ask them, what do they mean? Because they have changed a lot also in the way they did their presentations and their application formats. So I really don't know how to answer that.
That's okay, but thank you.
Welcome. Do we have any other questions in the chat box, Zach? I wasn't looking at the chat box.
No other questions so far.
Okay. How can we serve you more? Do we have any other questions? Any other observations? Elena, you have another question?
I just want to mention, if you don't mind, I'm actually helping our Houston chapter to lead the small groups initiative. And we are starting the series because someone asked about how to support new coaches in starting their business. And that's what that I think we call it the coaching launch pad that we're starting on Monday. And Zach, I'm sure you can post that link or something for people to register, but it's going to be MCCs sharing their experience with specific topic on how to navigate through business and emotional, the business and the emotional process of building your own business. So sorry, I wanted to share that with everyone here.
Thank you, Elena. I forgot all about that. Thank you for sharing this. We discussed it in the board and I totally forgot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. No worries.
Okay, Zach. So do we have any more input? Anyone with any more questions, any more observations, comments that Joe, go ahead.
Hi, I just want to commend you for an excellent session. It's been very insightful. As a fellow board member of ICF Houston, I just want to say that we truly appreciate the time and the effort you've taken to enlighten everyone. And I have found it very insightful, and I hope we do more of this. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you so much, Joe.
I just wanted to say a word, if I can.
Of course.
I just wanted to share with this audience of those of you who are starting that maybe 5 years ago, I was in the same place where you are, and it can feel very intimidating to get started when you don't know how to go about it. But with focus, energy, determination, and getting a support system, you can make it, and you can find in this profession a lot of satisfaction, because then you can utilize all your experience that you can bring to your clients, and they need you, and you need to find your tribe and those niche that will make you a very successful coach. And we are here as a community to support you on that.
Absolutely. Thank you, March, for saying that. I think the whole board, especially with Robin's leadership, we have created such a big change for the last year. So, and as you can see, there's a lot of momentum going on. And the chapter is the place where also you can find so many people that are helpful. So reach out to all of us individually, that if you need support and help also, so we can help you and guide you in your way forward in your new businesses. And it, as Marge said, it's such a beautiful, I have been in this industry since a very long time, and it never ceases to amaze me, and coaching is going to change the world. So it is actually changing the world, and it will change it some more. So good luck on your path, and thank you for being with us today. And I'll see you next month if you want to look into the mentoring, and the month after if we're going to look into the coach knowledge assessment test. And thank you, Zach, and see you all soon in person, hopefully, or over Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.